Hi, today we will explain the storyline of the movie Captive, which was released in 2020. Okay, let's get right to the story. A girl named Lily decides to run away from home with her boyfriend, Neil. She writes a farewell letter to her father, who has a violent temper and often beats her. In the letter, Lily thanks her father for his help over the years, but she can no longer tolerate his behavior. Lily and Neil take a break in the forest, and she takes out her phone because she misses her mother. Neil thought it wasn't a good idea, so he took Lily's phone and promised to return it once she had calmed down. Lily eventually gave in. They lay together, and that's when Neil noticed a bruise on Lily's rib. He couldn't believe Lily hadn't told him the truth about her father hitting her, but Lily refused to discuss it. They continued their journey until it grew dark, and they decided to stop for the night and set up a tent. Neil then excused himself to look for a river, assuring her he wouldn't be long. Lily was initially hesitant and worried about being attacked by a bear, but she remembered Neil's message not to worry too much. When it was already dark, Neil hadn't returned, so Lily checked her bag to take out her phone. But Neil had taken Lily's phone in his bag. She shouted as loud as she could for Neil, but when she woke up in the middle of the night, Neil still hadn't returned. The next day, Lily decided to continue the journey alone and hoped to find Neil, but halfway there, she heard the sound of wild animals. Out of fear, Lily ran until she found a cabin. Lily tried knocking on the cabin door, thinking no one was home, but a few minutes later, a man named Evan opened the door. Feeling awkward, Lily apologized for disturbing him and asked if she could borrow the phone. However, the middle-aged man told her to come in and rest for a while, saying that Lily smelled bad and should take a shower. Hearing this, Lily felt something was off about the man. Evan gave Lily something to drink and ignored her request to call and find her boyfriend. Lily became suspicious of the man's behavior, who was half forcing her to stay, even though Lily was worried about Neil. She then hurried to leave the cabin, but the man forced her to stay, and for some reason, Lily obeyed him. Not long after, Evan came in to answer the phone. Lily tried to talk to Evan calmly, but Evan seemed indifferent to what Lily was saying. He didn't give Lily a chance to explain the situation. Instead, Evan accused Lily of being ungrateful for being saved. With emotion, he forced Lily into the basement and locked her in. The basement had been converted into a storage room filled with cardboard boxes. Lily banged on the door and told Evan to let her out, but when he didn't respond, she finally tore through the piles of boxes and found a narrow room. On the walls were various clippings about young girls who had gone missing, complete with their photos. Lily suddenly realized she was in real danger. In the darkness, Lily found a hammer, but unfortunately, Evan suddenly entered and caught Lily. This made him even more angry, and he refused to release Lily. He said that he had intended to let Lily go, but Lily's attitude, which he considered rude, made him change his mind. Lily finally gave up and sat down weakly on the stairs. Shortly after, Evan returned with food for Lily, apologizing for locking her up. However, when Lily said she wanted to go find her boyfriend, Evan's emotions erupted again. Seeing Lily's frightened reaction, Evan apologized, saying he didn't want to let her go again. Hearing the word again, Lily didn't understand his meaning. Evan tried to calm her down and hug her, but Lily suddenly dodged and tried to avoid him. Evan pulled her to the center and told Lily to practice on the treadmill. Lily had no idea what Evan was doing. She asked him not to treat her like that if he wanted her to obey, and Evan said he would try his best. He asked what he could do to make Lily feel better, and Lily told him to leave her alone. Evan gave Lily time alone over the weekend, leaving her in the dark. That night, Evan locked the gate to his house very tightly. The next day, Lily screamed and begged to be let out. Meanwhile, the news about Lily and Neil's disappearance had made it into the newspaper. Finally, Evan couldn't stand hearing Lily's screams anymore, so he approached her and told her to calm down. Evan said he wanted to spend his Sunday relaxing and insisted he wouldn't let Lily escape again. Like the day before, Lily still didn't understand why Evan thought she had once lived with him, especially since he wanted her to focus on winning. Lily tried to ask Evan for clarity, but the man didn't respond. Evan's outburst made Lily think of her own biological father, who was also harsh and often abused her. Evan tried to treat Lily well and gave her food. The next day, Evan started taking Lily to physical training, beginning with sit-ups. Lily struggled to follow Evan's instructions, but she felt tired. She suddenly kicked Evan when he called her lazy, just like her father had done at home. Evan fell silent, then left Lily alone. Lily tried to find a way out through the window, but unfortunately it was locked tightly. Soon after, Evan returned to invite her to train again. He was surprised to see the boxes around him in disarray. He said Lily could only open the box with her name on it. After training, Evan promised to take her out for dinner upstairs, so Lily obeyed him. They practiced sit-ups again until Lily gave up, but Evan kept his promise. Before eating, Evan made them pray. He said they always did this ritual instead of eating right away. Here, Evan called Lily by the name Katherine. Evan let Lily lead the prayer. While praying as best as she could, Lily looked around. She remembered the location of the phone and the exit, intending to hide the knife. But suddenly Evan came and snatched the knife from her. He scolded Lily for not being able to say the prayer properly while cutting the bread on Lily's plate. Realizing what was wrong with Evan, Lily decided to rebel. She deliberately ate with her hands and cursed Evan, then went back to her room in the basement. The next day, Evan came in with a change of clothes. When he saw Lily in those clothes, Evan thought that Lily was too skinny because her clothes were too big. He intended to add more food to Lily's diet so she would gain weight. He then told Lily to get on the treadmill and exercise for 10 minutes. While Evan went to the laundry room to keep himself busy, suddenly, someone knocked on the cabin door. It was his younger brother, Jeff, who had come to visit. Jeff just wanted to drop by briefly to make sure Evan was okay since he didn't answer his phone. Evan looked cheerful and asked Jeff to have tea with him first. Evan mentioned that Katherine had returned, and Jeff's expression turned worried. He asked if Evan had stopped taking his medication. But Evan ignored the question and kept rambling about how he and Katherine would fight to win the gold medal this time. Seeing Evan's poor condition, Jeff took him to see a doctor. Evan immediately refused, and Jeff admitted that he could no longer take care of Evan. He said he would move out of town forever. He begged Evan to see his recommended doctor, and Evan promised he would. Before Jeff left, Evan asked if he wanted to meet Katherine first, but Jeff was too tired to deal with Evan and left without saying another word. Evan went downstairs and told Lily that his younger brother had just visited. Lily then screamed for help, hoping Evan's brother could assist her, but her efforts were in vain as Jeff had already left. Evan told her to stop practicing and take a shower, as he had prepared clean clothes for Lily. After taking a shower, Lily intended to run away, but Evan caught her. He then showed her Katherine's old room, which was now Lily's room. Evan heard the sound of running water and thought Lily had forgotten to turn off the tap. Lily thought she could escape through the window, but it was barred. Evan returned and showed Lily Katherine's favorite doll named Mr. Mo on the bed. Lily decided to play along with Evan and pretended to call him Dad. In the mirror, there was a photo of Katherine who seemed to have just finished a running competition in June 2017. Evan entered with dinner for Lily and saw her staring at the photo. Evan said he would become a champion again and get a scholarship. After putting down his food, Evan apologizes for being too harsh, and Lily just smiles and says she loves Evan. Under the bed, Lily sees her bag containing the Polaroid camera and her photo with Neil in her diary. Not only that, she also found a box belonging to Katherine. Inside, she found Katherine's diary. She glanced through it briefly before putting it back in the box. Lily felt this was her chance to escape. She heard Evan cooking in the kitchen, so she crept toward the door. Suddenly, Evan appeared behind her and asked where she was going. Stammering, Lily said she wanted to help Evan cook. Evan happily invited Lily to the kitchen. He gave Lily the task of chopping tomatoes, and Evan mentioned that he was cooking Katherine's favorite dish. Lily thought Evan was talking about risotto, but Evan corrected her, saying he was going to cook spaghetti. Lily tried not to upset Evan and began cutting the tomatoes. Evan was impressed by Lily's ability to cut tomatoes, even though she had never learned how to cut ingredients or cook before. Lily almost said her mother had taught her, but then she realized she was pretending to be Katherine, so she quickly added that her mother had taught her the wrong way to cut them. Lily cut the tomatoes haphazardly, but Evan was proud to see her. Just like the Katherine he remembered. Lily then admitted she had helped enough, and Evan let her rest so she could be ready for practice. However, Lily headed toward the exit again, and Evan caught her and asked where she was going. Lily said she wanted some fresh air. Evan reminded her that she had forgotten to drink her tea. He said that his daughter had changed a lot lately, and he felt it would be best for her to rest in her room, as he didn't want any trouble. Lily obeyed. In her room, she read Katherine's diary. On one page, she read that Katherine's father had taken Mr. Mo away because, according to Evan, she was too old to play with dolls. On another page, Katherine talked about her birthday party, where all her family members were present. As usual, after the event, her mother cleaned up, while Katherine and Evan played their favorite game in the dark. Evan caught her quickly and said that Katherine was too slow, so he punished her. Evan said that if Katherine was too slow, she would lose the race, and he pressured her to stay focused. Every time they played hide and seek, Katherine always cried because her father was too bossy, even though she really liked the game, especially when he was emotional. Evan would throw things. Evan had been treating Katherine harshly since she was 12 years old. Katherine's mother, Ivy, complained about Evan's attitude, forcing her to practice too often, leaving little time for Katherine to play. Ivy wanted her daughter to have a normal childhood, but Evan argued that the practice was just a game. However, Ivy saw it as coercion and asked Evan to let Katherine choose her own path in life. On the next page, Katherine talks about her 16th birthday. Katherine, who is now a teenager, asks Evan for permission to go out with her boyfriend, Jared, but Evan tells her to stay home because her birthday must be celebrated with the family. Evan treats her the same way he did when she was a child. Outside, Lily hears the phone ringing. It is Jeff, asking if Evan has visited the doctor as he requested. Evan only promises to let Jeff know if he goes, then calls Lily to get ready for dinner in 10 minutes. Lily continues reading Katherine's diary, where she writes that her father never knows how to treat her when she gets her period. This gives Lily the idea to tell Evan that she's on her period, and Evan seems confused about how to react. Lily asked him to buy her some sanitary pads, but Evan refused to go to town to buy them. Lily pretended to pout until Evan gave in. He said he would be gone for an hour, but he told Lily to practice in the basement. Lily tried to negotiate, but didn't want to make Evan angry, so she eventually agreed while taking Katherine's diary with her. On another page, Katherine recounts how Ivy and Evan met before getting married. Ivy said they worked at the same school and immediately liked each other, but Katherine's father didn't dare ask her out until 2 semesters had passed. Ivy said Evan was shy back then. She still remembered how he was sweating and very nervous when he asked Ivy out. Ivy had different principles from Evan. She liked Katherine to live her life according to her age and allowed her to go on a date with Jared. Soon after, Evan came home, and Lily hadn't had time to practice because she was so absorbed in Katherine's diary. She quickly changed into her sports clothes and wet them to make it look like she had been training hard. Meanwhile, when Evan got out of the car, a man on a motorcycle approached him. It was Neil. He showed Evan a photo of Lily and asked if he had ever seen his girlfriend in the photo. Evan was startled to recognize who was in the photo. Angrily, Evan chased Neil away, and Neil obeyed because Evan looked dangerous. At home, Lily continued reading. This time, Katherine was telling her that her father often changed his mood quickly without any clear reason. He would suddenly scold Katherine, and at one moment he could be very calm, but the next moment he would become a different person like a wild beast. Katherine missed her mother. Lily hurriedly turned on the treadmill and started exercising. Evan approached her and mentioned that he had stopped by the pharmacy to pick up a prescription. He asked Lily not to worry about him, admitting that since Katherine had run away from him, his emotions had become uncontrollable, and he had even undergone psychological therapy. Lily then said she would rest in her room. Before Lily went upstairs, Evan asked where she had been all this time. Lily replied that she had been with Jared, Katherine's boyfriend. Evan didn't ask further. He pulled Lily to measure her height and weight. Lily tiptoed to match Katherine's height, but her weight was still far below Katherine's. Evan said Lily was 9 kilograms lighter than her last record. He finally urged her to train harder. He gave her a skipping rope and told her to jump rope. While holding back her emotions, Lily asked how many times she had to do it. However, Evan didn't set a limit. Lily had to keep jumping until he said stop. Lily couldn't hide her emotions anymore. She hit Evan's head, then hit him with the skipping rope. Lily rushed to get up, but the door was locked, so she forced Evan to give her the key. At first, Evan handed the key to Lily, but he pulled her hand and pushed her away. Lily felt extremely frustrated. She resigned herself to listening to Evan yell at her in disappointment. He couldn't believe Lily could hurt him like that. As a result, Evan left her in the attic. However, this time Lily wasn't alone. She read Katherine's diary and discovered that Katherine's mother had died in an accident, and since then, she had been living with Evan. In the diary, there was also a newspaper clipping about Ivy's accident. Evan called Lily to have dinner with him. He remained silent, unable to comment on what had happened earlier. His back was covered in whip marks. This made Lily feel guilty, and she apologized to Evan. Evan simply nodded, accepting her apology. Lily then asked Evan to say a prayer, hoping that he would be given the patience to help his daughter achieve her dreams. Before eating, Lily asked when Evan would return to teaching at school. Evan replied that he had retired since Katherine ran away from home. Jeff thought it would be good for Evan to take care of himself at home, so he said he would teach Lily at home. Evan mentioned that the school had named its library after Katherine's mother. If only Katherine hadn't run away, she would have witnessed the library's inauguration. Evan was disappointed that Katherine had left him and blamed him for what happened to Ivy. Lily said she didn't intend to blame Evan. However, Evan didn't want to argue about it. He left the dining table and let Lily finish her dinner alone. After washing the dishes, Lily asked if he could play some music for her, as she felt very lonely in the house. Evan played Katherine's favorite lullaby. However, Evan had another idea. He admitted he missed playing hide-and-seek with Katherine, and Lily immediately agreed to Evan's invitation. According to their rules, Evan would turn off the lights, Katherine would run, and then Evan would try to catch her. Lily tried to run as fast as she could, but her foot tripped and she sprained her ankle. Evan didn't punish her. Instead, he helped her to her room. The next day, Lily opened Katherine's diary. She saw a page where Katherine had decided to run away from home. Several pages of the diary had been torn out, and there were no new entries. Lily was inspired to start writing in her own diary. Suddenly, an earthquake struck, and Evan quickly carried Lily out of the house. The earthquake lasted only a few seconds, and it was the first time Lily had left the house in a long time. She saw the fence in the distance that would set her free and asked Evan for permission to stay outside and breathe some fresh air for a moment. However, Evan needed her help to clean up the fallen objects inside the house, so Lily agreed. A few days later, Evan allowed Lily to practice outside the house. He told her to run 3 laps around the cabin, of course. Lily saw this as an opportunity to escape. She made Evan panic when she turned toward the fence surrounding the house. Lily tried to break the lock with a large rock, but it was useless. Evan managed to catch up with Lily and begged her not to run away again. While avoiding Evan, Lily accidentally sprained her ankle again, causing her to wince in pain. Evan rushed to help her walk home. Day by day, Evan carefully tended to Lily's sprained ankle, always supporting her wherever she went. Lily wrote in her diary that she had to recover quickly once her ankle healed. In the meantime, she would continue her role as Katherine. Evan's attitude toward Lily grew gentler, especially since Lily showed significant progress. He also taught Lily various things, from school lessons to driving lessons, and Lily played her role really well. Until Lily's first Christmas with Evan arrived, Evan reminded her that it would soon be Katherine's birthday and asked Lily to tell him what she wanted. He also admitted that he was proud of Lily's achievements so far, but Lily was modest and said that it was all their hard work together. Evan surprised her by revealing that he had already signed Lily up for a running competition that would take place in 7 weeks. At first, Lily was shocked, but she soon realized that she would finally be free, so she asked Evan to take a Polaroid selfie with her. She was thrilled with the photo and felt that Evan was truly her father. With genuine affection, she told him she loved him. The next day, Lily showed rapid progress in her sit-up training, now able to reach 100. Not only that, Lily's weight had also increased to the perfect number according to Evan's target. All the hard training had made her accustomed to it day by day. Finally, Katherine's birthday arrived. In the morning, Lily took the initiative to train without being asked. However, on Sunday, Evan forbade her from training even though the competition was only a few days away. He also gave Lily a gift, a new phone. She was overjoyed to have a phone again and immediately added Neil's number to her contacts. Meanwhile, Evan said he was going to buy a birthday cake and do some shopping. He no longer worried about leaving Lily alone at home. Lily felt grateful to be able to breathe fresh air, so as soon as Evan left, she ran outside. A few hours later, Evan returned home and was surprised to see Katherine in front of the house, the real Katherine. He then asked Katherine to help him carry the groceries inside. Katherine noticed something different about her father, who seemed happy. Inside the house, Katherine was puzzled why her father didn't seem upset at all. Evan even told her to rest in her room. Katherine knew something was wrong, but she didn't know what. She went into her room. Katherine was happy to see her doll, Mr. Mo, again. However, she was shocked to see her diary on the table, especially with someone else's writing on the latest pages. Suddenly, Lily came home and, without saying a word, told Katherine that she liked her writing. Katherine was stunned to see a strange woman entering her room. She asked who she was and why she was reading her diary. However, Lily did not want to introduce herself. She admitted that she had been reading Katherine's diary because she wanted to learn about Katherine's life. Over time, she became fascinated by Katherine, but she never expected to meet her in person. Katherine was confused and scared at the same time, especially since Lily knew so much about her. Katherine asked Lily to explain who she really was. Lily said she had become the new Katherine and considered Evan her father. She slept in Katherine's room and wore her clothes. She had already chosen an outfit for her birthday celebration and proudly mentioned that she had broken Katherine's running record. Katherine was confused why Lily called Evan father. Lily tried to explain that, after all this time, she finally felt happy and no longer lived in fear. This was the opposite of how Katherine felt now, who was afraid of Lily and asked her to stay away from her, saying she didn't want any trouble and just wanted to see her father. Lily cornered Katherine, saying that Katherine should support Evan and help him recover after his mother's death. Even though Ivy's death was caused by Evan driving too fast, Katherine shouldn't have left him. Katherine couldn't hold back her tears of fear. Lily realized Evan was a good and loving father. She regretted that Katherine didn't understand what it was like to have a father who was harsh and violent, like Lily's biological father. Evan made her feel so loved, and she didn't want to lose him. With a look filled with suppressed emotions, Lily stepped forward and stabbed Katherine. Lily was stunned by her own actions, but she had to move on with her life. Evan was calling from outside the room, preparing her birthday cake. So Lily quickly changed her clothes and blew out the candles on her birthday cake. After that, Lily invited Evan to go for a drive. She would drive. Evan gladly accepted the invitation. He asked Lily to wait a moment while he fetched his wallet. In the car, Lily decided to delete Neil from her contacts.